I'm going to show you a common mistake that people make that leads to a similar outcome in both cases. Um, and the first way this happens, the first thing that happens is when you're adding text, say you want to add an image or a block of text, you're not just adding a new paragraph, because then you would just click on, like if I wanted to add a new paragraph on this, I would just click on this and add a new paragraph. But you're adding a widget, which is how you would add a new image or title or whatever. And you always drag the widget where you want it to be. Say I wanted to add an image, I would drag it over and add the image, follow the instructions for adding an image. But if instead you double click, it always adds it to the top of the page. So it will add when you double click, but it always adds it to the top of the page. So that creates confusion generally. And so that's not, you always drag it, you don't double click on it. Now I'll do that one more time here. Say I want to do a button. Here's a button, and I just double click on it instead of adding it. Now you could, once it's added, you could drag it to wherever you want it. Say I wanted it down here, I could just drag it to where I wanted it to be. But you can also just delete the widget, whatever it is. Just highlight over it and click the X to delete it. And you can also, I'll do this one more time to show you how to reverse it again. Oops, I added it to the top. If you notice that when you do it, you can always just undo your last edit and boom, it's gone. Okay. Now, where this comes about more often is if you go to the content, you're going to add a file, like under site content, manage files. Let's say I'm going to add this text document here. If you click on this, or you click select, it adds the file and the row. In this case, when it adds the file, it adds it in a new row at the top. So it's the same kind of concept. So if you're uploading a file, well, let me show you. So in this case specifically, when you do that, when you select a file, it creates a new row. You can see there's nothing else in this row. You see how it's all highlighted? And so if I hit, on that case, I would delete the row. But again, you'd also undo it. So if you're adding files and you're adding a bunch of files that you're going to later, that the next step is you're going to link to the files, then you want to go to content, site content, manage files, and you upload your files. Say I upload a file here, upload. And then the part that's counterintuitive here is then you just close this window. The file is uploaded. Here are the uploaded files. And then you just close this. And then when I wanted to create a button, or let's say I wanted to say, click here for a file, I can make the text that I want to be a link. So let's say I'm going to make click here a link. Click link, file, select a file, and then I could select the file I uploaded. Now, I will note, I'll go ahead and select it and show you here. And then that makes the link, okay? I will note that the easier way to do this is to just start with the text or button. If you want to add a button, say I wanted to add a button for a file, I drag the button where I want it to be. I would put in whatever the text is I want to be the button. Download a file. And then I would go down to file for download, plus, and then I would upload the file here from this screen. That way you don't run into that problem. But if you're doing multiple files, you want to upload them all at once, you can do it the other way around. if you refer to the video on creating files, I think I have that laid out, but I'll review it and see if it's not clear. So hopefully that helps. I appreciate your time. Thanks.